Kabbalah for Complete Life Management, Chapter 8, Rabbi Michael-ben-Pesach, Portnaar. Light will arouse in us the wish to receive. Light is singular and unchangeable. The fields of strength are not within the light itself. You can see them as qualities. It is us who are changing once we have brought ourselves in agreement with the laws of the universe. There is nothing in general that we can't find in the particular. Now we are going to experience the ladder of our inner being. So why do we speak about screens and the coarsening of the light? The light is structured in such a way that we can experience different layers. Our task is to bring the strength to reach the lowest level of the coarsening. Once we have reached this level, the coarsening will disappear. Every uplifting makes a step to disappear. This is what we have to long for and where we have to come in action. It is the light pushing us to receive. So how can we experience both aspects of the indivisible light and the light and the wish to receive from the source? With the light there is the root, or the source of our inner being. The darkness is so great that we can't see the path that is leading us to the source. Our existence is an inner existence. The body is only a costume. You can compare this with the clothing of a spaceman, and the inner being is the spaceman. We aren't the clothing, but we do need it for going into space. Our costume is necessary to experience the slow atmosphere here on Earth, but it's the inner being that is receiving the life and not the costume. It is the same when we speak about astronauts. We don't talk about their clothing, but about the person who's within. It is the same here on Earth. Within the person and his body are the inner being and the area of the good and evil. If you want to come to fulfillment, you have to purify yourself from the evil and not from the flesh. And purify yourself means bringing yourself in agreement with the light. So what is the building material existing deep within us? They are the fields of awareness, and all the strengths are connected. We are true inner being fell down. All our strengths of life were broken. This is the reason why there's doubt. Every being has to make oneself receptive, and therefore we need to develop. This is how we are made. First, we need the wish to receive, then the wish to give. Why? Once a person has the will to receive, he receives the light in all kinds of varieties of pleasure and satisfaction. It feels good. But at the same time, he receives also the taste of his own qualities. It is the law. A mother has to feed her child. Nobody can come to the aspect of giving before he knows there's absolutely no giving in him. The giving lies within the receiving. The light has the qualities of giving and receiving in one root. So when a person experiences the quality of the light, he feels shame. Why? When he's receiving, he also achieves the aspect of the giving. He sees the giving is higher, and therefore he has the wish for giving. First, he wanted to give only for to give. Then there is the awareness. Giving feels much better. It is real, perfect, and higher. At first, we give only for to give because we don't have the strength to receive in a giving way. But there is a difference. It is not the receiving of a child, but we are building up strength. They aren't alms, but we have deserved it because the outer being has worked very hard. Is there a difference between the receiving as a being of our world and the receiving of the inner being? During the process of alteration from egoism into altruism, we are forming receiving stations, receiving cells, and everything comes from the same source into these cells. Your intentions and motivations are changing. You are changing the nature of receiving. As long we stay in the manner of a selfish receiving, we aren't still developed. There's no inner movement, what will bring us to the ultimate goal. It isn't wrong because this is the material of our nature, but today in the development of the evolution we can go faster and faster in a very conscious way. There is an inner pushing to receive in an altruistic way. It isn't wrong to receive in a selfish way. It is only a stage in your development. A child playing with his toys, do we blame him for playing with his toys? There are no rules, no codes. It is an individual phase of development, but you have to do this 100% on a voluntary basis. Progress always goes hand in hand with preparation, and your progress lies in the preparation of giving up the earthly mind for the sake of the higher mind of your inner being. There is no loss. you only gain. You have your doubts, so now you need some research. Work on it. But at the same time, you have to make effort to cleave to the laws of your inner being. In this, you gain a lot of inner strength and insight. You will see the goal of your life. You have to annul yourself. Don't talk about yourself. The battle is within you, but it has to happen without any force. It has to be done in a soft and easy manner. Of course, you have to make effort, but not too much. Don't cry or feel anger considering everything that is happening to and within you. All the misery you see in the world is repairable, except anger. You can feel sorry and come to remorse, but anger breaks the inner, and you have to start from the beginning. So your heart must be free of anger. It is very special. Anger is a quality, not a condition. Everything has a meaning. Everything has a meaning. Even a louse may not be broken. A louse is a product of the transpiration and the disposal of your body. Nowadays, we have to be very careful considering the animals and the human beings. This will give an enormous correction. Say thank you when a fly had sting you. A human is a very intelligent being. The fly wants only to receive. Also have respect for the flowers and plants. Let them live. This is also a correction. Don't throw away the leftovers of your food, even when you're a millionaire. The control system doesn't look at your bank account, but on the contrary, he looks for the little things you do. So when you attend a party, take only what you need. Food gives strength. Don't throw anything away. The food on your plate has to be eaten, otherwise it will become waste. But not for an animal. If you want to be rich, and this means you're satisfied, you have to be very careful with these things. If you neglect them, you will never have enough. Save the materials you think you are in need of. Others can make use of it, so give it away rather than throw it away. It is difficult to see, but a mother who is feeding her child with her breast is feeding the child with waste. She doesn't eat the same as her child. In the upper part of the body, up to the waist, the food is good. Below the waist, there we see the evil. Food that hasn't been used becomes waste. In everything we see the aspect of good and evil, to give and to receive in a selfish way. Both are necessary. You can't taste the good before you have tasted the evil. Once there is a certain moment, the light shook up everything to make up the right mixture. So now every element consists of all others, the higher and the lower. This has become the atmosphere where we could live. Every human being has the wishes and the strengths that are in the world, but at the same time, every person has his main and individual ingredient. When you see misery, see it as yours. You can't close your eyes. Every day a human being has to make correction because every day is different. You already have taken in yesterday. This means we're acting in agreement with the laws of the universe, and not because it is within our nature or because we expect the reward. The last generation will have the most light. There could be a question in you. This generation is so selfish, how can there be something good? We are the waste of all others, waste from all the people who were once living on earth. The first generation was the purest. They received their food. For them, a correction was not needed. They did not have to come back. Their task has been fulfilled. We belong to a later generation. There is no waste in the universe. The smallest wish is the highest product. The last generation will have the most light. There is no disappearance in the inner. We are working on the whole. When you work on yourself, you are working on the whole. We are correcting ourselves for the common good. The light is there for everyone, for nature and humanity, even for the plants. Everything has its roots in the light. Stones, plants, animals, all of them have their roots in the light. They also have 10 fields of strength. A lion, for instance, eats an animal, but he only eats what it needs. The leftovers are for other animals. An animal isn't egoistic. A human being is made in a way he has all the 4 forms of nature. Our nails and our hair, for example, are related to the mineral world. It is dead material while it is still growing. When an animal eats plants, the plant becomes a part of the nature of the animal. In a way, it is an uplifting for the plant. The same is happening within us. But the uplifting happens only when a person eats what he needs. Everything is connected with each other. A good deed gives an enormous resonance. We also have to respect the stones and the mountains. A physicist can explain how craters are working, but everything has a reason, is essential for the universe and the human being. When we damage a mountain, someday we have to pay back for the damage we have done today. The lasting great correction depends from us, and only from us, and not from fate. It only can be done through our sincere desire and our sincere wishes to live according to the laws of the inner being.